had a son who was
It
addicted.
impacted our family.
Lost all my friends.
So then you question, what did you do wrong? I mean, when your son becomes an addict, which I didn't know, and I beat myself up too long, like, how come I didn't see it?
They told me I had to leave. Took him, dropped him off on the road, and said, get out.
I had a secret that I didn't want the world to know.
It's very tough.
And they're like, what are you doing here with your son? And I'm trying to tell him quickly, this is it, he's gonna get help.
You know, they used to come up and check on me in my room to see if I was still breathing. You know, before my sister would go to work, she would open my door up and just to check on me if I was still breathing. And you know, it got to the point where they couldn't even look at me in my eyes anymore because they were devastated. You know, I wasn't their son anymore.
Started when I was 12. Started drinking, smoking weed, and then 15, started with the painkillers, and then late 16, early 17, started with heroin, cocaine, and then it got real heavy, and then I started injecting it, and I was off to the races.
Everything was going great. My son was going to school, he was successful, he was working, and I did not notice until my daughter came to me. And then my world crashed, and it crashed around his sister, my daughter, and his father.
Every time I wanted to feel different, every time I wanted to feel smarter, there was a pill for that. When I wanted to socially loosen up, there was a pill for that.
I spent 6 years under a bridge, living like a pig, I would say. Just didn't care. When I look back at my past, I could see the damage I do to myself.
I stopped hanging out with friends. Just wanted to be alone, wanted my drug. Did anything to get my drug, anything. And this has been going on for 3 years now. In and out of treatment since I was 16, went to my first detox at 16.
We were, and I still believe we were, a close-knit family. And when this happens, it's sort of, you know, the walls come down and you're sort of divided and there's guilt and what if I could have and should have. And at that point, your family's somewhat falling into pieces.
And I was in the car and I don't cry that much, but I was crying in the car. I said I had to do this for him, and it was very strange, you know.
Well, Noah's addiction tore me apart, and thus it tore me from my family a bit, because it took a part of me. So I wasn't the whole father or husband any longer, or brother or son. Before I let go, I have to do everything in my power as a father that I can try, and then I'll have to let go. And luckily, we kind of hit bottom at the same time.
Many times the family coming into St. Christopher's Inn does not know what to expect. They're seeing their loved one for the first time in a very long time. They come here looking for answers. They also come here hoping that they're going to hear apologies or this is it, I'm going to be sober now, I'm going to do this for you. That's not what it's about. What we try to do when we reunite the families is to educate all of them together. They have to know that this is truly a disease.
When you're in this field, you find out it's not just that one person that suffers from the disease. The substance abuse is a family disease. The parents, the significant others can be enablers. You know, I'll help you, or you need more money, you know, and they think they're going to save them. Take them back home whenever there's a problem, you know. We know from the reality of what has to be done in the rehab world today that most of these people have to hit rock bottom.
The fact that it was a place for my wife and my daughter to come and share with Noah in a safe room like that with other families is powerful. It's powerful. It's a gift. It's a gift. This is an incredible story. I'll keep it brief. Noah was actually on a movie set, starring in a movie. At like midnight, we took off together in a car from where we were to get to the Bronx for him to get his fix. And we had agreed, the only reason I was with him on this movie set, through stories that got me there, was from there, he's going for help. If not, that's the end. And we get surrounded by the cop cars. My son is begging, please don't arrest my father too. Please let my father go.
We came, we met other parents, and it was tough love. Tough love for the siblings and for the parents.
They taught us that we were enabling when we shouldn't have been. We thought we were helping, and we weren't.
The counselors actually cared here. The staff cared here, and that I never felt for in any treatment center.
There's something extremely special about this place, and I know a lot of people say that, and now I know why. There's just a feeling here you get that is unlike any place I've ever been, and I've been to a lot of treatments.
Where else could people go to where the Cardinal comes to visit them at rehab?
The road that I traveled to get here, it's, I would say it's a blessing. You know, to see that wasn't the end of my road. It's a whole different story, man. I would say I call it a new beginning.
When my wife gave birth, I was a month out of St. Christopher's, so I had about 6 months sober. And I'll never forget this. I was in the delivery room, and they put my daughter on my wife's chest. And for that instant, I knew the love that my mother and father felt for me. And the same instant, I realized the agony and pain that I caused them, thinking I was only hurting myself. I couldn't imagine if my daughter put me through that. I missed my dad for a very, very long time, and St. Christopher's brought us back together. I was scared in every treatment center to bring him for this program, and my counselor here kind of, not forced, convinced me to bring my father here. And like he said, I felt supported after he left, and it's the best feeling in the world to have a dad back in my life.
St. Christopher's, the Graymoor, this mountain is like, there's like a wellspring of love, and it just doesn't seem to end.
You know, this is not a place for a paycheck. This is all from here.
It's in them to care. You can't teach that. You can't apply for a job and have your boss teach you those skills. It's in you or it's not. And every one of these people has it in them. It was them. It was them and the other residents that made it work. We hope that anybody who walks through these doors has the opportunity to take in and to learn what St. Christopher's in their staff has to offer. You'll succeed.
So it's important. We treat the entire family and teach them about the disease so they're ready to take that person back into their lives and live a healthy, sober life for their whole family.